Good afternoon, students. Hope all of you are fine, though COVID pandemic is spreading still. Yesterday, we discussed personal pronouns of all the types: subjective case, objective case, and possessive case. First person, second person, and third person. And at the fag end of the class, I told you, don't get confused with this particular item with the pronoun its, because this is different from this particular pronoun. And particularly, this one has an apostrophe, and what that has been left out, which has been marked with the help of an apostrophe. So please don't get confused, because many of the students make the mistakes with regard to this particular concept. Now, today let us understand the second pronoun. I told you yesterday that there are 9 to 10 pronouns are available, but whatever is more relevant, that I am going to discuss in this particular class or through audio and video class. Now, demonstrative pronoun. Demonstrative, the word itself speaks of the concept that it is pointing out or it is referring to something. Pronouns are used to point out the objects to which they refer. Example I have written here: this, that, these, those. These are demonstrative pronouns. These pronouns are demonstrative pronouns. And remember, as I told yesterday that when you write my book, for example, this is my book. I wrote yesterday and I told you that this is concentrate on this particular pronoun, which is a possessive case pronoun of the first person, and the same pronoun functions as an object also, I told. And what type of object? This is pronominal adjective. It is not important from the point of examination, but from the point of knowledge this is important. Pronominal adjective, because it has come from the noun, but it is not important to us for this particular chapter. Instead, it is a pronoun. Why is it pronominal adjective? Because I told you yesterday that this is a noun and it attributes, this describes this particular noun. That is why it is an adjective, and it is pronominal because it has come from the pronoun. In the same manner, these pronouns, because in all the classes last year I told you, or every year I am speaking of the same to all the students, that English word has got different meanings, different functions, and you know homonyms, homophones, homographs, etc. And when a particular word functions in different ways, you have to understand that concept also. Now, coming to the point, demonstrative pronouns are the pronouns used to point out the objects to which they refer. Now, let me write each one example for the pronoun. This is my book. That is her house. These are my materials, study materials, whatever it may be. For the sake of understanding, I have written those are my relatives' items. Now, look at these examples. These are singular, this and that. These and those, these two are plural. This is always singular, so that is why is or was, if it is past, or if it is present perfect, there has is available. So remember the singular concept, singular pronoun, demonstrative pronoun this and that, and these and those are plural pronouns, and plural verb is available. Remember that when I write like this, these helping verbs function as main verbs, which of course last year we discussed. So this is my book, that is her house, these are my materials, those are my relatives' items. So this plural, this, that plural, those. Only these 4 pronouns are available under the heading demonstrative pronouns. Now, as I have just told you that the same pronoun functions as adjective. Let me write 2 examples for the sake of understanding. This book, this is my book, this book is mine. Now look at this example. Now when you write like this, book is a noun and this functions as an adjective there. This book, this is, though it is a pronoun, if you write like this, it is not purely a pronoun, it is an adjective that helps, that qualifies, attributes this particular book, and that is why one word has more than one function, and that is why you have to understand that in English language you have to be very careful in the use of pronoun or any other word for that matter. And at the same time, if at all questions come in the examination, you have the argument that this is not a pronoun because it attributes this particular noun, so how can it be a pronoun? Argument is possible there. So let me write another example. These are my materials. These materials are mine. So when you write like this, this is the subject and this is a noun, and this helps this particular noun, so functions as an adjective. So remember what I told yesterday, that the same word functions in different ways, and thereby it is possible for us to use in different ways, because language is such that it has got different functions, different meanings. Now, demonstrative pronouns, when you write, remember that immediately after the pronoun there must be the verb available. Either helping verb functions as main verb, or else main verb sometimes, and that is why understand the fact that how do you use the pronouns, and if you use with the noun, what happens, and the use has to be very much important. Then only it is possible for you to understand the same very clearly. Now next, after the second one, the third pronoun I am going to discuss. Indefinite pronouns. Now, indefinite pronouns. These pronouns, the pronouns refer to persons or things in a general way, but do not refer to any person or thing in particular. So indefinite pronouns, the pronouns refer to persons or things in a general way, but do not refer to any person or thing in particular. Let me write examples, the pronouns first, then explanations possible. I have listed most of the pronouns here. all, one, none, some, somebody, nobody, few, many, everyone, everybody, no one, someone, so most of the times we use these pronouns, and these pronouns refer to persons or things in a general way but do not refer to any person or thing in particular. So all, one, none, some, somebody, someone is also available, nobody, no one is also available, few, many, everyone, everybody. So these are the very common expressions, common pronouns available. And remember that in the case of none, commonly it is used with a plural verb. None, it is used with the plural verb. This is something special that the grammarians say. Commonly used with the plural verb. Except that, depending on the meaning, now all, when you say, it is anyway plural, all are good, all participate in the college program. You can use either helping verb functions as main verb or main verb itself. All students, if you say, automatically you can understand that, as I have given the example and the explanation just now. All students, when you say students noun and this functions as an adjective there, all participate. If you say, naturally all is an indefinite pronoun, it functions as the subject, all participate in the program. One is feeling ill in the class, means one of the boys or one of the girls. One is feeling ill. Then none, as I have said just now, commonly used with the plural verb. None of the students appear the examination, and usually with the plural verb. Very rarely common, depending on the context. Some go to the program, some go home the moment they are let off. Somebody is speaking in the class, somebody disturbs the teachers, somebody disturbs the other boy or the other girl, nobody listens to the explanation of the teacher, nobody gives importance to the explanation, few have entered. This depends on the context once again, few. For example, there are some students available, there are 10 or 15 or 40 or 60 students available. Now when I say few, what it means, few, a few, the few. These three expressions, just like little, a little, the little, these expressions are available. So in the same manner, few, when I say few have turned up, means some of the students have come and attended the program. So few, when you say, you have to think of the context there, what that you are speaking of. Then many, naturally plural, many have come, many haven't come, or many have attended, many haven't attended. Everyone, singular, just as one singular, no one is going with the plural usage. Now one singular, some plural, somebody singular, nobody singular, everyone singular, everyone singular, everyone is attentive in the class, everyone is listening to the teacher's explanation or teacher's lecture. Everybody singular, everybody behaves well, everybody repeats when the teacher repeats the formula or whatever it may be. No one is interested in the class, no one is good, no one is doing any homework, etc., etc. For the sake of example, I have told you, someone is very important. Without him or her, the class cannot continue. One of the examples that I have given. So when you speak of these or when you use these many pronouns, remember that once again they refer to persons or things in a general way and not particularly, not to any particular person. If I say that someone is talking to somebody, when I say I don't know the name, I don't know who the person is with all the background, so I say someone because I can't trace the individual properly, so I say someone, maybe the boy or the girl or the backbench person or the middle bench, whichever it may be. So it is not particular there, and that is why they are called indefinite pronouns. And these pronouns, not all the pronouns, sometimes some of the pronouns, all may be, one may be, these pronouns appear in the 4-mark question in the examination. Let me write another example with regard to indefinite pronoun. How does it function in another manner? Look at this example. Now look at one of the examples. One of my friends dash in America or in Delhi, whichever that you can, for the sake of example, you can think of anything. Now, many students commit mistakes with regard to this in the first year. And in the second year, once again, subject to verb agreement, that revision exercise available at the beginning of the class. Now, of course, class has been continuing and already 3 months have passed, and that is why whatever is relevant that I am speaking of here, not revision exercise, which of course we can do at some other time. Now, one of my friends, when you say, you concentrate on this particular item because this is an indefinite pronoun and this is the subject, and this item of my friends, it is a phrase that has been added to this particular indefinite pronoun, and the subject is one. Among the friends, one, so naturally singular, you have to write lives. And many of the students commit mistakes in the first year, and you also, some of the students who do not rehearse properly, practice properly, may commit mistake. So that is why tense item, that is important this year once again, because you have passive voice construction, and passive voice construction in the sense active voice you must be very thorough with, and that is why remember, one of my friends lives and not one of my friends live, because many of the students, when the passive voice is available, they think of the immediate near preceding item, noun or pronoun. No, you have to understand the subject very clearly. If you do not understand the subject properly, naturally your tense goes wrong. And that is why this indefinite pronoun, which functions as the subject of this particular sentence, in the whole subject, in the sense this is the subject, but which is actually relevant to the tense subject verb agreement for which we are speaking of, this is actually the subject, and that is an indefinite pronoun. Many of the students do not know that this is an indefinite pronoun which functions as the subject, and that is why probably this mistake appears in the papers or in the writings of some of the students. That is one thing. Second is that they don't think of which is the subject. Simply they have thought that friends is available, so immediately they have written live. No, it is not possible. Understand the concept. Language, in the sense you have to understand everything in detail. Without understanding, how is it possible, my dear students, to write a proper sentence, to use the verb? So that is why remember this. In the case of all is also like that. All of my students, this is possibly correct answer available. All of my students, naturally here plural available, here is also plural available, so naturally all of my students are good. possible to write properly because this is plural and this is also plural. But remember that such subtleties, intricate aspects are available in language, and this one or two examples that I have highlighted, there are several hundreds of examples that are available. And please remember that our intention is that you have to enrich language, a chaste language. If you have, people appreciate you, and when you pass out from Vivekananda PU College, people will rate you at the top. Now, next is relative pronoun. Third one is over, and the fourth one, relative pronoun. Now, let me write examples first here, otherwise it is difficult to understand. I have found the pen which I had lost. Second, this is the book that you gave me. Third example, I met Raju who had just returned. Now, look at these pronouns. Relative pronoun, we call these underlined pronouns. Now, you have different items with you, and some of the students may get confused with everything. This sir is speaking of that as a relative pronoun. Sometimes he speaks that it is a conjunction. Sometimes he says that it is which is an interrogative word. What a problem that these teachers create. Probably you speak of. There is no problem, my dear students. Instead, understand the concept very clearly. Now, this is the chapter. Relative pronoun is one of the elements available in under the heading pronouns. Now look at, I have found the pen which I had lost. In this sentence, I have found the pen. If I speak of main clause, subordinate clause, for your convenience to understand, I have found the pen is a main clause, which I had lost is a subordinate clause. Main clause can also be said independent clause, which I had lost is a dependent clause. This is main clause, which I had lost is a subordinate clause. One of the ways that I can express. I have found the pen is independent clause, which I had lost, that part is dependent clause. This is independent, this is dependent. Usually what we say, this is main clause, this is which I had lost is subordinate clause. In that case, which is a subordinating conjunction, of course, no doubt about it, but it is not that I am speaking of. I am doing this sort of a work simultaneously for the reason that language, in the sense there are many things to be learned, which you have to remember. And if you remember, it is easy for you to understand this particular item. It is not to get confused. Instead, it is only to make you understand that there is another item, here is another item. These thoughts, if you have, it is easy for you to understand. Is my choice or my method of teaching. Now, I have found the pen which I had lost. Here it is a relative pronoun. Second sentence, this is the book that you gave me. Here this is the relative pronoun. Once again, this is the book, main clause, that you gave me, subordinate clause, subordinating conjunction, that. I met Raju, main clause, who had just returned, subordinating clause, and this is the pronoun. And in the case of main clause subordinating clause, this is the conjunction. Now, what is a relative pronoun? Relative pronoun is a pronoun which refer to or which points out the noun that precedes the relative pronoun, which is called its antecedent. Let me write it so that it is very clear to you. Relative pronoun. Let me write RP, not received pronunciation or any computer symbol. This is relative pronoun. Refers to or relates. Let me write refers or relates to some noun going before which is called its antecedent. Now, these pronouns are relative pronouns, and those pronouns or any relative pronoun must refer to or relates to, refers any relative pronoun that must refer to or relates to some noun going before in the sense, in the same sentence, going before what? Pen. Here book, here Raju, which is called its antecedent. Now this is once again its personal pronoun, third person, possessive case, its antecedent. So this word is called the antecedent of this particular relative pronoun. So the called as is not available. Called as is a wrong expression which many of the people do. We don't have to worry about it. But remember, it is not called as, it is called. He is called something. He is called the very captain. He is called hero, not called as hero. Considered as is available, not called as. Please don't misunderstand. Now pen, which is an antecedent of which, book is an antecedent of that, Raju is the antecedent of who. And relative pronoun in the sense, remember that it functions in such a way where the pronoun refers or relates to the noun which is going before, which is called going before, noun that is going before, which is called its antecedent, in the sense relative pronoun's antecedent. This is a relative pronoun. Pronouns in the sense pronounina, pronouns antecedent. So remember this, so that you understand this, because this sort of a pronoun definitely at least one is available in the final examination, final question paper. Many of the students commit mistake there. And please don't commit mistake is my point of discussion. There is nothing to worry about it, because very simple, very easy to understand. So relative pronoun, when you think of bit carefully, you have to study, understand where is it available, and it is easy to understand because just right before it the noun is available. The same it points out. It refers to or it relates to, so that it is easy for you to understand. Hope that you don't have any doubt with regard to this. If you have doubt, of course you have my mobile number with you in your calendar, college calendar. Now next is interrogative pronoun. And this is very simple, interrogative pronoun. Simple to whom? Those who have already learnt, of course. Interrogative pronouns are nothing but pronouns begin with the WH word. All the WH words. How many WH words are available? 9. Why, when, where, etc. I don't write everything because all that you have studied, which, what. And these are interrogative pronouns because that replaces the answer. For example, Let me write here. Who is Rama? Question. And this who is Rama? Rama is he is a neighbor, he is our neighbor, and this highlights or this points out the person who is available there. Who is Rama? He is my neighbor. Or which Rama? The neighbor Rama, etc. So that is why it is the interrogative pronoun. It is called because it refers to a particular noun or pronoun, and that is why it is called. It doesn't have any other explanation. And all the WH words you can think of here, and those WH words replaces the very nouns or pronouns. Now, after these many descriptions, let me write one example here so that I can make you understand further. It is remarkable how the geese stand by each other. Throughout their flight. They coordinate in a systematic manner. The team is led by the head goose, goose singular, geese plural, head goose, and the others follow when the head goose gets tired. Its place is taken by another. In the same way, a wounded goose is nursed by two others from the team who fly down with it. People who share a common sense of accomplishment can also do so if they two work in a team, trusting each other. Now look at this paragraph. After these many pronouns, personal pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, indefinite pronouns, relative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, 5 variety of pronouns that I have taught you. And these, among these pronouns, all the pronouns are important. And remember, in the case of this particular paragraph, an unseen passage has been given. Pronouns I have underlined 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pronouns have been underlined. But when it comes in a paragraph, when in an unseen passage, many of the students find difficulties, or they are not able to answer properly, and they simply lose 2 marks, 3 marks, or 1 mark also. And even 1 mark is quite precious in the final examination for your distinction. And that is why please don't disregard, please don't think that this is very simple and that I will do at the time of the examination or in the hall when the question paper is available. No, it is not possible. Now look at, it is remarkable how the geese stand by each other throughout their flight. They in the sense, usually some students have an idea, they in the sense teachers, or they in the sense people, and nothing is available here. Then what is they? There is no answer. No, they in the sense, I have told you, they is used for all genders, male, female, neuter, masculine, feminine, and neuter gender, all genders, which is called common gender. So what are they? They in the sense geese, because some of the students do not know geese. Geese in the sense probably it is Greece. No, it is not Greece. Geese in the sense it is a bird. Geese in the plural, it is they are birds, and that is why goose singular I have already told you when I have written, geese plural. So they in the sense, the question comes there, question number 1, they, right? So they in the sense geese. So this is the problem with many of the students. They in the sense not only human beings, not only people, etc., etc. Instead, they in the sense common gender. It may be human beings, things, living, non-living, something. That is why they, geese. Then, coordinate in a systematic manner. The team is led by the head goose and the others follow. When the head goose gets tired, its place is taken by another. Now what is its? Once again, some students have the doubt. It's in the sense head goose. This is the answer. Here geese is the answer. Gets tired. Its place, head goose gets tired. Its place is taken by another. In the same way, a wounded goose is nursed by 2 others from the team who fly down with it. What is who? Now this is a relative pronoun. Who fly down with it. So what is who now? In the same way, a wounded goose is nursed by 2 others from the team who fly down with it. So what is who? That you have to understand here. So 2 others in the same way. That is about this particular sentence. The team is led by the head goose and the others follow. When the head goose gets tired, its place is taken by another, so that the function takes place. In the same way, a wounded goose is nursed by 2 others from the team who fly down with it. So who reference to two others. Where is by two others? Yes. With it reference to wounded goose. Where is it? Here. So look at, so these sorts of confusions available with the students because they don't understand. That is why I have said probably 10 minutes ago that understanding the concept language, that is very, very important. Without that, nothing can be done by you. It is not possible for you to come to a consensus, come to a conclusion. So first thing is that understand the paragraph, unseen passage. It is remarkable how the geese stand by, etc., etc. The team is led by the head goose and the others follow. When the head goose gets tired, another person, another captain is required there. Its place is taken by another. In the same way, a wounded goose is nursed by, another concept, nursed by two others from the team who fly down with it reference to wounded goose. People who, now think of these people who, it relates to this relative pronoun I have spoken to you. This relates, I haven't underlined here, but this speaks of this particular noun. Understand this. Share a common sense of accomplishment, can also do so. If people who share a common sense of accomplishment can also do so if they too work in a team, trusting each other. What is meant by they? They reference to people. People who share a common sense of accomplishment, just like geese, can also do so. Do so what? Whatever is said in the second and the third line. Am I right? Yes. If they too work in a team, trusting each other. So they here, not geese, because here they, you have written geese answer that I have told you. Not the same that you have to write here. Here they reference to, just like geese, human beings can also function, work, accomplishment can also do so if they means people who share a common sense of accomplishment. But they, when you write, you have to write only the individual. They reference to people. The third person pronoun plural, subjective case, refer to people, to work in a sense in a team, trusting each other. So matter is simple. Simple to whom? Those who have learned. If you don't learn, everything becomes difficult. So concentrate on the topic, understand line after line, so that it is easy for you to write proper answers and 4 marks will be in your pocket. Think how easy it is if you learn. So pronouns, the very important pronouns, they, subjective case, personal pronoun. This is also personal pronoun. This is possessive case pronoun, and then which one is available? It, subjective case pronoun. Here who, relative pronoun. This is two others who. I have told you relative pronoun in the sense the pronoun which refers to or relates to a noun that is preceding. Preceding in the sense immediately before that is what I have said in the case of example. But all the time it is not possible. It refers to noun, of course, preceding. Modalu baruva, preceding. So two others. Two others what? Two others geese only, the noun. So remember this much. If you learn this much, you will be happy when you write the final examination. Hope you have understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.